If I had 1,000 tongues, I would sing with everyone. Voices like a mountain song. Sing, you are my only one. Oh my, oh my, oh my days. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Never understood, but life can be this good.
Hey everybody, Elizabeth Morosco with Kudos magazine. I hope you are having a great day today. I am so excited to have a special guest here to talk about a really important topic. Maybe some people think it's taboo, but I think it can be kind of exciting. We're going to be talking about senior living and care, and today I'm with special guest Kathy Felix, who is a
Hello.
health administrator at Abbey Park in Grand Blanc, and she's going to be sharing some golden nuggets and insight on this next part of a journey that's available to so many families to make it exciting while you're moving into retirement and beyond. So, hey, Kathy, thanks for coming today. I appreciate you.
Well, hello, Elizabeth. Thanks for having me.
So,
How are
tell
you?
me a little bit. You are the administrator at Abbey
Or
Park.
manager. Admit my official title is administrator, but
Okay.
I am the building manager, so I get to be the boss in the building. And it's 175,000 square foot
Wow.
independent senior living. It's actually enhanced independent, so meaning we have personal care services available.
So, when we talk about like with people that are moving into aging and things are changing a little bit, and then you throw a term out there like independent senior living, like what does that
Yes.
mean? Give our
So
viewers a little overview on what is that.
So it's exactly the way adult seniors want to live. They don't want to live in a nursing home and they don't want to live in a little bedroom. We all want to live in a full apartment that we can furnish to look similar to our homes. For example, a one bedroom apartment, lots of closets, beautiful kitchen, living room, bedroom, nice big bathroom. But we also want it to be appropriate for uh, safety. For example, you don't have to shovel the walks or things like that. We actually spoil our residents by providing housekeeping. We clean the apartment every week, and every day we make the bed and take out the trash. And we also provide meal options so they can come down to the dining room. Um, for a noon meal, we provide continental breakfast. So a lot of things are included in this independent living situation where you don't have to necessarily worry about grocery shopping if you don't want to. But if you still choose to cook for yourself, there's a full kitchen in every apartment, refrigerator and stove, so the residents can still cook for themselves if they like. If they want to have big salads every day, if they want to make their own breakfast, they can, but they don't have to. There's an option to take advantage of our meal program. The reason why I say enhanced independent living is because as we age, and I say we because we are all aging, unless we're dead, we're
Mm-hmm.
aging.
Mm-hmm.
So as we age, we want to be able to stay in place. We want to be able to, quote, age in place and not have to move when we need help with our medications or help getting dressed or help using the bathroom or assistance with a shower. We don't want to have to move out of our home. So when you're in an enhanced independent living situation, you can live independently and then add on care as needed. Say something happens, God forbid, you fall, break a hip, go to the hospital, go to rehab, come back home. There's someone here to help with personal care, help with a shower and things like that as you're healing and getting better. And then, back on your feet, you wouldn't need the care anymore. So you can kind of add and subtract personal care as you need it.
That's
at
so
Abbey Park.
important. And I think that if people realize that services like this were available, number one, it can give you peace of mind, but it can
Mhm.
also provide a way for individuals to be able to continue to live independent because sometimes it's not like the great big huge tasks that become the burden. It's all these little things. And
Yes.
even like how you were talking about how you have access where they can cook in their own apartment
Hmm.
or they're able to go down to like a
The
dining
dining room.
area.
Mhm.
Yeah, and it makes
Yes.
it convenient. You don't have to run out to go to a restaurant. And at the same time, this is another thing that I believe that many seniors face is the issue of loneliness, of being isolated,
Yes.
of not having other people. So, with that sort of like community cafeteria or dining experience,
Hmm.
it brings people
Yes.
together. Yeah.
Yeah, and we place them at tables with a small group of other people. So they're going to sit with the same people every day,
Hmm.
and we have our large meal at noon. So that, for example, they would come down to the dining room at noon, and they sit with their friends at the same table every day. There's a little name tag there, and they watch out for each other, and they know each other's families. They know each other's likes and dislikes, and it's a group of it's camaraderie. It's
Yeah.
that sense of family, sense of friends. They're if somebody's at the hospital or if somebody's on vacation with their family, they know that Sue Ann went with her family to Traverse City. She'll be back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's just they love that. They love not to worry about where they're going to sit. They have the same group
Yeah.
every day. And then we do activities such as actually have exercise class, kind of a sit fit. We go on trips. We'll go to the health park and walk on that walking trails, or we'll go to the mall, or we'll go watch the river roar boat races up north. We'll go to on
Oh,
a boat ride. We
wow.
go
You
to
even.
Lansing Lug games. We go to plays, and so those trips are
Hmm.
scheduled, and everyone looks forward to getting together, riding on our little bus, and going on trips with each other. And they have a great time. We try to keep them busy.
That's fantastic. So
Hmm.
you do have access to community transportation, but then do residents
Yes.
also have the option to have their own vehicle there?
Yeah, many of our residents still drive,
Hmm.
and they have a nameplate at their parking spot, and they
Hmm.
come and go as they please. That's the great thing about independent living. They come and go as they please.
Hmm.
And if they're still able to drive, they still have a car. We allow them to keep it here. But if there comes a time when the weather's bad, they choose not to drive that day. We take our residents to doctor's appointments a couple of days a week, and also the bank and the post office. Will go as a group to the grocery store, help them with their groceries on the way back. So it's both. You can go on your own with your own car,
I love
or
that.
hop on the bus and come with us.
I love that. Do
That
you guys
rhymes.
also do some of those trips down to the casino too?
Well, yes,
Of
we've been to a few
course.
different casinos. We have many. I mean, that's one of our most popular trips,
Right,
is the
right.
casino trip. And we have some real funny stories that I won't tell you now, but the residents do enjoy going to the casino.
So you guys
They love
also
it.
live by instead of what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. We do what happens at the
Actually, that's
casino
my
stays at
motto.
the casino.
Yeah, or what happens at Abbey Park stays at Abbey Park. So,
Right.
we laugh a lot. These residents have great personalities and senses of humor, and we really enjoy each other. And a lot of laughing goes on, a lot of sense of community. Very, very important sense of community here.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
wonderful place to be.
Yeah, I think our seniors are some of our most preciousness in our community, and it's just good to hear that
Yeah.
there's resources that are allowing them to live fully and independent.
Hmm.
And I think that unfortunately, sometimes in our society, there's a little bit of, I don't know if you want to call it ageism, but where
Yes.
as we age, sometimes we start to treat our seniors like they're kids or that their voice doesn't
Yes.
have meaning or that they don't have this level of significance, and they do. In fact, I believe that
Well,
they tend to be some of the highest little pockets of wisdom in our community. But through communities like Abbey Park, you're still allowing individuals to have their own sense of being, of making their own decisions, and living their own independent life. And that's one of the most important things when as you age, being able to have that option and not being
Yes,
treated like a
yeah,
child.
my grandmother, I grew up next door to one of my grandmothers, and I would walk next door and visit with her. And one day she said to me, I look in the mirror and I think, who is that old woman? I feel the same inside. Mirror is not, the mirror is not reflecting who I am. And
Mhm.
so I had someone that toured one time, and she said, I look around and I see old people. And I said, do you think maybe they look at you and say, that's an old woman? I said, I don't see age when I look. I'm looking at Donna, and I'm looking at, Ed, and I don't see an old person. I see a man who flew a bomber in World War II, and he's just a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Clem he was a naval aviator, and I mean, he's 97 now, and he's still living. He's a World War II veteran. To me, it's a huge
Awesome.
honor to
Yeah.
know them, and I never think, wow, what an old person, because he
Mm-mm.
doesn't feel that way. He feels young inside. He feels the same inside. So
Yeah,
we're all going to be there, hopefully,
that's
and we
right.
want to be treated as a human being, as the person that we are, not just that's an old person.
Still
So,
vivacious. Did you see that ad campaign a while ago? I think it was actually for Alzheimer's, I think. But it
mhm.
was an older person that was looking in the mirror, and in the mirror, it was a reflection of who they were 40,
Oh,
50 years ago.
I
So,
have
like,
not seen it, but it sounds amazing.
yeah, so
It
it'd be a
sounds,
picture of like an older woman, and then she's looking back in the mirror, and it's her in her nurse's cap back in the
yeah,
50s. And, the guy
yes.
who's the firefighter, and now he's in, maybe sitting in a wheelchair. But we all come with our different stories, and even
Hmm.
as we age, we still have the opportunity to create many stories and great impact.
Yeah,
So I'm so
it's a huge
grateful.
honor. It
It
really is an
is.
honor to
Yeah.
know these
It, but
people. And
it's equally not only an honor. I have to say this to you, Kathy. I think organizations like yours are detrimental for allowing people to keep living and having their own purpose. So I want to do a great big kudos to you and for the many organizations that are making this possible. And I know that this past year
thank you.
has been brutal between what staff and even the people that have, resided in places.
Yes.
We've gone through a lot, and I think that we've probably learned a lot of lessons along the way, and hopefully we
Mhm.
can continue to create communities that are healthy and focused on the safety and well-being
Uh,
of our seniors.
what I learned, hands down, in the last year is that isolation, loneliness, sadness, desperation are far more deadly than any virus. The numbers are apparent. The people that were the fact that we had to close our doors to outside, family members visiting was very detrimental to our residents. And
Mm,
I think looking back, I really hope that we never have to do that again, because I think that was much, much more harmful than anything else.
I
And
agree
when you're
with
at
you.
the end of your life, when you're in the last, maybe percent of your whole entire life, that last 1% of years, you really do need to be surrounded by your family and your friends. And if
Absolutely.
someone said to you, you can't see your children, you can't see your brothers, sisters, friends, and we can't tell you how long that's going to exist. If you're in your late 90s, if you're any age advanced, you have nothing left to live for. And so the mind is a powerful, powerful thing.
Mhm.
If someone says, don't know how long it's going to be, you just kind of give up. Many people do give up. So hopefully we'll never
That's
have to do
right.
that again.
Yeah, I really appreciate you saying that because I think that for so many of us that were just struggling getting through that period of time on our own, we
Yeah.
we we dropped the ball as a society, and I won't get into it
Yes.
too much here, but
Yeah,
I believe that we could have done much better. I don't think that some of
I
those
do too.
factors that you're talking about were really taken into consideration. But the whole bottom line is, as human beings, we are social beings just by nature. That's how we're
Mhm.
wired. And when we
Yeah.
start to eliminate things like that, it does take away from the overall wellness, mentally, physically, and even every aspect
Spiritually,
that,
it's okay. We can
well,
say
well,
it.
I think the spiritual part can be fulfilled, with our own,
I do
connection,
too. I
but
agree.
it just can become a painful moment. And
Yeah,
fortunately, there are, I think, pockets where we're starting to learn and figure out how can we improve this, how can we make some changes in the future,
yes,
and
yeah,
learn and grow, and it comes with transparency, and that includes being honest
absolutely.
about things, so but
I
hey,
agree.
really quick, I wanted to ask you, now when people start looking at this as an option in their family, what would
Mhm.
be some of the most important questions that they should be asking? Let's say that they're not even coming to Abbey Park. Maybe they're going someplace else. What are questions that they should be asking?
Well, first of all, the decision to move from one's home, and what is the motivation? Why do we feel mom or dad needs to move? Is it not safe in their own home? They're isolated in their own home. They're falling a lot. They're not able to shower, things like that. Some people make the decision on their own and say, I just don't want to, or I'm afraid, I don't like my neighborhood, or I don't feel safe. So there's so many. First of all, kind of look at that reason why. Then you want to find a place that suits the needs, whatever the reason is. So if someone needs help with the shower, you want to make sure that you find a place where they provide shower assistance. Uh, and then if a lot of care is needed, then you want to find a place where it's kind of all inclusive, and might not be Abbey Park if there is a lot of care needed right away. If someone does need a lot of care, you're probably going to look more at a assisted, quote unquote, assisted living, where the care is included and you're in more of a bedroom, less focus on the activities and more focus on that personal care. In other words, your loved one can't really get out and do any activities, or can't, mainly their world just becomes very small. So then you're going to look for assisted living facilities. If mom is still very, dad is still really active, then the independent is a better choice. And if they're in their, earlier years, they're going to choose something more independent. What if there's a memory issue? If they need memory care, if they're not safe being alone, you want to have a building that's at least locked, if not, alarms on the doors. Memory care is pretty advanced. That's where resident can no longer really interact well. They aren't comfortable being alone. They always want to be with other people, and they may uh, wander. If they're wandering, they need then that person, the potential resident, needs to be in a locked facility where there's safety and where there are activities that are geared towards someone with dementia. Uh, so there's so many different levels. So first of all, look at the needs, find a place that meets the needs. I always tell people, if you're calling around, make sure that you ask what the lease terms are. Make sure you find out, are there any hidden fees? Make sure you find out, is this a suitable place? You don't want to just move to a place that is telling you, yeah, we're the best place for you. Some of the corporately owned were privately owned. No offense against the corporately owned places, but some of those places have someone that is specifically geared towards, I don't want to say the word hounding, but like really aggressively trying to get you to sign a lease. And here, I always want to make sure that it's appropriate, that this is appropriate, an appropriate place. So I do try to give options to people, and we found word of mouth is a big deal. People find out about us through someone else. And so that way, if somebody says, my coworker's mother lives there, and we were talking about my dad, and it seems like it would be a suitable place. And then, we answer questions and we have them come in and take a tour. I always recommend that a family comes in for a tour first so that that resident isn't overwhelmed. We want family check it out, see how they like it, and then invite their loved one to come for a tour. That way we know, okay, your kids, I say kids think this is a great place, it's affordable, and we have all the needs to be met, and then the potential resident can come
That's
also.
actually a really great idea, Kathy, to maybe go
Mhm.
take a pre-tour before
Mhm.
the your
Yes.
parent or grandparent is going to be going there for their tour as well. And
Yeah.
in part is you can have a chance to understand, what are all of the things that are available and being able to
Yeah.
ask some specific questions, so that you
Exactly.
can later on even remind your parent they might forget, and to be able to share that. So I
And
think,
some people look on their own. They're like, I'm trying to find a place for myself. I want
oh
to know,
yeah.
and with our, our aging population now, a lot of them are in our internet savvy, and they're able to check out our website, and they're able
Hmm.
to kind of make some comparisons. So we get
Hmm.
all types of people who are interested in moving in and seeing what
Yeah.
it's like.
Yeah, I think
And
it's
the nice
smart.
thing too, if it's of a short-term lease, a
Hmm.
month-to-month lease, you try it out, see how you like it, and not be
Oh,
locked in.
okay. That's nice to be able to do it a month to month to see if you even like it
Yes,
for a month and
very
before
nice.
you commit to anything. Because it
Yep.
can become very emotional, especially when we're talking about leaving our homes and moving into this next chapter. But, part of it is also realizing we're going to have different needs, just like you're going to have a different need when you're a college student versus when you have a house full of kids versus you're an
Yes.
empty nester. And I'm really grateful to see some of the advancements that are happening with senior care and living facilities just right here in our community. So, and I will
Absolutely.
tell you, I have had a chance to see Abbey Park. It's beautiful. It definitely
Thank you.
doesn't look like a sad place. It kind of looks like, oh my gosh, I'm going
Well,
to the country club for the day. Let me go have some
the
tea.
owners, my bosses, the owners of Abbey Park, started out in the nursing home business. They found it depressing,
Uh-huh.
and they wanted to explore congregate living type facility. And so their motto here is to treat others as they want to be treated, how to be warm and fuzzy. That's their big motto, warm and fuzzy. Live
Hmm.
here for the best of your life. They really
Oh,
feel that a happy community is good business. And I think it's been a great success for them to treat people that way. They want to make sure that things are maintained. We don't have anything broken or crumbling. Everything's kept really fresh. Because we're cleaning the apartments for the residents, complimentary cleaning of the apartment, and we provide fresh sheets and towels. So linen service is available. So the buildings, it smells
so
clean.
it's like you're on vacation. We're gonna take a
Yes.
little
And I,
tour, like a
yes.
hotel, and
And I
yeah.
always know that I've done my job when a family member says, I want to live here. If someone says, I want to live here, then I know, okay, I've done my job.
Right.
I've presented it to them. And I always encourage the residents, the potential residents, to keep their home if they can and try it. Come and
Hmm.
try it for a month and have your family bring in limited amount of furniture, furnish it, make it look nice, but try it for 1 month. Keep your home, and you're able to easily get out of your lease. And 99.5% of the time, they absolutely love it and want to stay, especially if they're, whether or not someone's social, it does make a difference, but especially if people are social, they love it here and they realize, gosh, I'm hardly even in my apartment. I'm out and about doing things in the
Hmm.
building. There's always something going on. The people are so nice, and,
Hmm.
they realize it's a great place to be.
And this is an interesting thing about being social. Sometimes it's not even about being social and going hanging out and having to have conversation. Sometimes it's just about going out into space and there's other people that are
Yes,
there
there's a
and you're
level
not
of comfort.
alone. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
One of the
So,
gals who moved in too, she lived here with her husband, and her birthday's Christmas Day. She would say, I'm in good company. And the year that her husband passed away, it was New Year's Eve, and she
wow.
had a few bottles of his cocktail, his different liquors and different sodas and things that he had, and these beautiful crystal decanters. And she said, I counted that I could have six places to sit in my apartment, and I went and knocked on six doors, and I invited all the people in my hallway to come and have, I had leftovers, like really good, cookies and things from Christmas. and they all came over to my home, and we sat and had a cocktail, and we had some delicious food, and we just had this wonderful time on New Year's Eve.
That's
And the ladies in
wonderful.
her hall, the ladies, and it ended up being all women, but they
Yeah.
said, "Oh, we had the best time. We're so happy that we live near Marion, and she
Yeah.
invited us." So it's kind
Yeah.
of like a little bit like a college dorm sometimes. If their door is open, you see they're playing cards and they're, going to visit each other. And, the guys are talking about the Tiger game, or the women talking about the Tiger game. And it's a lot of smiles,
I
a lot of
love
happy
that.
times here.
Oh, and you know what?
Yeah.
And that's what we need to do is create opportunities for happy times in our lives. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I appreciate that
Yes.
you guys are on the forefront doing that. And if people wanted to get in touch with you to maybe learn more about Abbey Park or other things that you might know on senior care
Hmm.
and living,
Yes.
how could they get in touch with you?
Well, just give us a call.
Okay,
They,
what's your
um,
website and phone number?
our website is abbeypark.com, and Abbey has an E in it, so ABBEYPARK.com.
Hmm.
And then our phone number is 810-606-1110.
Perfect.
And thank you for that
Perfect.
little plug, Elizabeth.
Yeah. Well, I think
You're sweet.
part of it too is just as people run into
Yeah.
interviews like this, they have a chance to go back and look at the website and then look into more detail because as we're talking, they're kind of getting an idea, but to get it a little bit more
Yeah.
concrete, go check out that website. And hey, speaking
Mhm.
of getting some more information, I want to encourage all of
Yes.
you, if you have not signed up for the upcoming copy of Kudos magazine, go do it right now. We are literally
It's
getting ready to
fantastic.
launch. It's going to be happening this June. You just have to go to kudosflint.com. And also, don't forget, we have our free caregiving for the caregiver Facebook group. Absolutely free, filled with tons of golden nuggets to help you along the journey. And if you go sign up, you'll get all this good stuff right now.
Love it.
So, all of you, we appreciate you tuning in today. And I hope that you're taking the time to take care of your family and your overall wellness. And Kathy, thank you
Yes.
again for coming out
Thank
today.
you.
Really meant a lot to me because I think that this is a topic that can be taboo. And I think that you maybe pulled off some of the cobwebs of false fear. And yeah,
Yes,
so
nothing to
thank
be
you.
afraid of. We're all
Exactly.
hopefully going to be there one day. So,
Yeah. And being there is a place of being able to still keep living a full life and sometimes just with a little bit of extra TLC. And
yep,
TLC
just
to
another
me, that's
chapter.
good.
Just one
That's
more
right.
chapter.
That's right. All
Nothing to
right.
be
So in the
afraid of.
meantime, all of you, thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you healthy, happy living and a ton of goodness today and always. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.